I'll be your instructor for AI CSSE 413 this fall term. I'm very much looking forward to meeting all of you tomorrow in person, face-to-face. But for today, I thought I'll have a quick video recording, so like giving you an introduction to the course, so you can watch it at any time, and you can rewatch it if you want to. So let's start out with the syllabus. So let me talk a little bit about what we are planning to do in this course. The AI, as you know, is a very popular field right now, and it's pretty big actually. Some universities have schools of AI, some universities have departments of AI. I'm just giving you a sense of how big this thing is. The purpose of this course is to give you an introduction to AI so I can understand what AI can bring to the table, what are some of the challenges, what are some of the benefits. We will be building an AI system or several AI systems, and I'll say more about that in a moment. And so they're related here if we look at the learning outcomes in the syllabus to search, reasoning, knowledge representation, planning, learning, as well as human-robot collaboration. As you probably have heard through the news and other sources, there are some ethical problems and issues surrounding AI, say facial recognition software, those sorts of things, neural networks and others. So we want to understand some of those things so you can make an informed contribution to any debates that you may have. So while I'll introduce many fundamental concepts in AI, stuff that you have to know if you want to do AI, I will leave it up to you to research and present to the class some contemporary, modern, exciting applications of AI. And again, I'll say more about that in a moment. Very briefly, you can find a link to my homepage over here. And among others, you can see my contact information and my schedule. So the schedule is probably the most important thing. As you can tell, I'm engaged in many different things. I do a lot of senior theses, I do senior research projects, I do senior project and senior research projects. I'm also taking a course at Indiana University. I'm not taking it, I'm sitting in on it to learn more about some advanced topics in logic with one of my collaborators there who is called Larry Moss. As you know, things are a little bit different this term, so we'll meet face-to-face on Fridays. And to the remaining times, we will use what I call an asynchronous mode. So I do not plan to lecture on the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 9, 10, or 3 p.m. time slots. Instead, I will post materials as usual, and I ask you to digest them. So these materials are sometimes slides, sometimes they are requests to look at a document and respond to it either by writing a response or a summary, or by posting to the forum. So I will try to make this thing as interactive as possible. You should make time every day, or at least Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, to engage with this course. Whether it's the originally planned times or other times, it doesn't matter to me. So you have a little bit of leeway to organize your AI work every day, but you need to make time for it. If you have any questions about any of this, just email me or get in touch with me through other means that I'm going to be explaining here in a moment. Neely Shah is our TA this term, and her contact information you find on our Moodle page. I will go to the schedule here in a moment. That's sort of like the key document that you want to go to. So I'll be using the schedule, which is posted publicly available online, as well as Moodle to manage this course. So I'm going to use Moodle for some of the stuff that I want to grade, and some of the stuff that might be a little bit more sensitive in terms of, I don't want to identify you necessarily or unnecessarily. So as I mentioned, this course is an asynchronous hybrid course. Let's see, grading. So always something that everybody's interested in it. So I'm going to use Moodle's gradebook, so that way you can get a sense of your standing in the course. Remember that Moodle is always assumes that for any grade, anything that I add to Moodle and for which I have not recorded a grade, you're going to get 100 on it. And so hopefully everybody will, but it doesn't always happen. So here's sort of like the grading rubrics over here, or the scheme. And over here are some of the things that we're going to be doing. So we have software development projects, we have homework assignments, we have the cutting edge work presentation that I mentioned, we have essays, and we have a take-home final, which is a written final. Here's a late policy. Again, it's very important that you stay on top of things, so have a look at this thing. As you know that due to these uncertain times, we have changed our attendance policy to an engagement policy. And you've all seen it. How it looks like here is a link to it. You can copy and paste it. I'll fix it so that it's actually a real link. Again, I mean, I'm just super excited about AI. I mean, I'll do it. I mean, I do research in that area. I do educational research in AI. And I hope that you find it interesting too, and that you participate fully in class. If you ever are bored or whatever, just suggest ways to make the class more interesting. If you see interesting materials that you say, wow, this is so fascinating, so much better than what I posted, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to post links to those things. Academic integrity, so have a look at this policy. Basically, all the work that you turn in has to be your own work or the work of your team or your pair. So academic dishonesty, in other words, if you submit somebody else's work or submit unacknowledged somebody else's work, then it may result in a lowered course grade, including an F in the course. Okay, so if you have a question about, geez, is it okay for me to turn it in as is? Just send me an email. By and large, you need to acknowledge other people's work, including your own prior work. I should tell you that I may choose to use certain online plagiarism tools to run your software against it. If you ever have a concern about this course, feel free to talk to me. If you're uncomfortable about talking to me about a certain concern, there are certain folks, certain of my colleagues who are more than happy to do that. Sid Stam, Amanda Stauder, Kim Tracy, and Robert Williamson. All right, so this is sort of like, a little bit of the contract for this course. So let me briefly show you then the Moodle page. Moodle page will get larger and larger as we go along. As I mentioned in my email, I created one Moodle page for all of you. And so it's this one over here, 413, without the section number, fall quarter. So here are our email addresses, Neely's and mine. Here's a link to the syllabus. Again, you can always go to roseholman.edu class CS, CSSE 413. And if you want to sort of like poke around what I have there, you can do this and so like see some stuff. Now, again, the assignments, this is all work in progress. Here's the syllabus, here's the schedule. So as I said, I'll use Moodle for some of the assignments and for stuff to be turned in. I'm going to be organizing it by week, so it's not this long list of stuff. So here's a Dropbox for the first assignment, which is actually due on Friday before class. So BC in the schedule, as we'll see, will mean before class. And I'll add many things as we go along. So now the most important document probably is this one over here, so you might want to bookmark it or something like this. This is the schedule. And I should tell you that it's tentative, and there will be some changes as the term progresses. This term, I'm taking opportunity of turning this thing into a hybrid course to completely revise this course. Well, maybe not completely, but I'm making some major revisions to this course, primarily among the assignments. So AI is changing all the time. I wrote a paper a couple of years ago, I think in 2014, 2015, about where we surveyed people, educators and practitioners, how should an ideal AI course look like? And at the time, my course pretty much actually satisfied those visions. But things have changed, and things change all the time. And so we want to explore some of the ways in which AI changes and where it's most likely going. So I'm going to try to prepare you for the way things are going to be going here in the next couple years. And the way they'll be going is primarily towards building big systems. And so rather than having many assignments that cover topics here and there, we eventually will start building a system. Not the first couple of assignments, but eventually we will do that. So starting with a natural language assignment, we will build a very small human-robot collaboration system, which is a hot area right now. So if you want to look at this assignment column here, BC means before class, and this is 24-hour time. Everything in italics are typically summaries, and in bold are typically programming assignments. Sometimes there are some other assignments. And again, there will be more stuff here as the term progresses. You can look at the daily outlines by clicking on these links. So over here, right now, I'm just simply doing the introduction of the course. I'm having some resources that you may or may not want to consider at some point in time. So here's some links to some pretty cool books. Again, you don't have to buy those things, but if you think you're going to be bored here at some point in time, you're like maybe doing fall break, you want to do something, or Thanksgiving break, and maybe you expect to be stuck in an airport for a while. These are some great books to have that are related to our topic. Down here are the assignments, and again, right now, it's the beginning of the course. It's a fairly simple list. Eventually, you'll get more involved. So by Friday, before class, I would like you to summarize sections 1.1 to 5 from Turing's very, very famous and crucial seminal article, Computing Machinery and Intelligence. By Monday, I would like you to study this poster, which is just a poster, and name an AI system for each of the 5 categories. If you want to work on this thing with somebody else, that's more than fine with me. Just submit one submission to the Moodle Dropbox and make sure both of your names are on it. Same thing over here. So this is called the 20-year community roadmap for artificial intelligence research in the US. This is a key paper developed by some really smart people from AAAI, which is the Association for the Advancement of AI. It's the largest professional organization in this field. So these people really thought about this thing. They asked people, they asked for feedback. This is key. Now, it's a long document, and I only ask you to study pages 2 to 5, in particular, the graphic on page 5. And again, I ask you to do a small assignment by this thing, on this thing. So this is kind of like what we're going to be doing. And so then on Friday, when we first meet, we're going to have a few classes assignment exercises. I'm sort of like a bit secretive about it right now. That's on purpose. I don't want to give it all away, but they're typically very, very fun. All right, so that's kind of like what we're going to be doing. There are no links here yet, so this is all still work in progress. I'll post them here sometime soon. Let's see. So yeah, we're going to be covering lots of key things. Search, we're going to look at neural networks, we're going to look at natural language processing, we're going to look at valid reasoning, we're going to be looking at human-robot collaboration, some additional learning algorithms. So just really, really cool stuff. I think this is it at this point in time. If you have any questions, just email me. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me. Once my schedule sort of settles a little bit more, I will start to have office hours. So you can always contact me by email. You can always ask for a meeting by whatever you want to do, Skype or Microsoft Teams. But I think I'm going to be scheduling office hours Mondays from 9, 10, and 3, so like coinciding with these sort of like time blocks. And again, this might change a little bit. Alrighty, folks, I think that's all I have for now. I'm looking very much forward to meeting you on Friday. I'll see you then.